Hi, my name is Keith Cooper of Northlight Images, and this is one of my short video book reviews. I'm a great believer in the usefulness of photography books. I buy old photography books, I buy new photography books, old ones from charity shops and the like, second-hand shops. Yes, I really do just buy them to look at the pictures because I believe that looking at lots of pictures helps you, even if it's just to flick through a book and just go, yeah, I like that, don't like that one, why don't I like it? Or, oh, I really like that one, why do I like it? Anyway, this particular book is the Photography Exercise book by Bert Krages. I pronounced his surname right there. It's subtitled Training Your Eye to Shoot Like a Pro. Well, I would say training your eye to shoot well. I've come across pro photographers who are not necessarily that great photographers, but yeah, they run a successful business, but that's another matter. This is not your usual list of topics type book. Now, I've looked at a few of those. If you follow the links in the text, it'll go through some of the written book reviews I've got on the Northlight Images site and details of this book as well. The assignments, things to do, the sort of 365 things to do for the year in photography. They're great, they're ways of getting you out, they're ways of making you think about different things. This one does not take that approach. I rather like this because it starts off with the importance of learning to see. Well, yes, we can all see, but do we really? It's a key skill in looking at your own work, in learning to see whether it's any good, and also to see what's around you and see if you want to convert something to a photograph, you want to take a photo, if you want to somehow represent something. It's all about seeing it. Yes, you can learn it, and there are some good tips in here about aspects that you may not have thought about. Now, there will be in a book like this bits you come across and you go, puh, know that. Well, that's fine. But I would say read them, because the fact that you've said, I know this bit inside out, you think you know it inside out. I found areas which I thought I knew quite well, which came as a sort of, I had to step back and think, yeah, I need to look at that again. I do like the fact that the book quite quickly goes into understanding the technology, technical photography proficiency. That means being able to use your camera effectively, whatever sort of camera it is. Now, I do an awful lot of shooting, manual focus, manual settings, everything like that. That's great. I actually have difficulties when I have to use autofocus on fast-moving subjects. I don't do much of that. I don't do sports photography, I don't do nature photography. So I have to actually go back and look at some aspects of that to appreciate how my camera works, what various settings there are, things that can change on it. But once we've got past some of the technical proficiencies, it looks at light. Now, that's the key. Understanding light and darkness, shadow, light, is the key to photographic composition, and there's an awful lot about composition in here, some of which I went, yeah, okay, yeah, I can see the point you're making, but I'm not interested in that. Well, that's fair enough. You know, we all develop our own styles and interests in photography, but do have a look at it. There's a load of stuff about composition. It's not just the standard sort of, you'll see trotted out rules. Anytime you see something starting off with the rule of thirds, you'll know that it may mean well, but it's not going to be an exhaustive look at aspects of composition. Things like negative space, for example. It takes an appreciation of what negative space is to be able to effectively use it. Now, this is an interesting bit that comes back, and it's mentioned in here. The difference in knowing something about composition. You may find that an awful lot of your composition, you just know how to do it. You know what looks right. There is the gap between that and being able to put it into words. Now, for myself, it's one of the reasons I write all my articles and do stuff like that, because it makes me think about stuff that I may only be able to vaguely visualize. If I can explain something to someone else, then that tells me I've understood it. Now that drives a lot of my articles, videos, book on tilt shift lenses I wrote, is about personal understanding and that coming across in helping other people. But you do need to understand stuff that you know, stuff that you can tell people. And you don't have to be able to tell people what your composition is. So for example, long stories about the deeper meaning of pictures and stuff, that's up to you if you want to go into that sort of stuff. I don't. Most of my pictures have no deeper meaning than what I happen to be feeling at the time I took them. This is personal ones as opposed to jobs. Job ones, I'm looking at the client brief, I'm trying to produce pictures that someone's going to like, someone's going to use, and someone's going to pay me to take more pictures. Subtle difference there when you're being paid for it. But when you're taking pictures for yourself, no, it really is just, a lot of my stuff is just, yeah, that looks right. But I want to know why that looks right as well. And nice bit about reading some of this, it helped me understand some of those things about my own photography. Who's the book aimed at? It's not a beginner's guide. It's going to assume that you have more than, you're competent using a camera. It's quite a chunky book. How many pages have we got? 200 odd pages, lots of pictures, nicely produced. I'd say this is a book for somebody who's perhaps stuck in overly concentrating on the technical side of photography. Someone who finds it easier to try and perfect technical aspects of photography than consider what they're taking photographs, why they're taking photographs, what they mean to them and things like that. Great one to nudge you more into the creative side of photography as well, but in the guise of doing it with the technical side. So, very interesting book, Photographer's Exercise book, Bert Krages. One for my bookshelf. So hope you find these little short reviews interesting. I've other stuff on the Northlight Images site, and I've got lots of books like this that I've picked up over the years, and if you find them interesting, let me know. So thanks very much.